actually being in power, being in charge of things isn't really working out so well for the Republican popularity across the country for high-profile politicians. And that very well could have electoral consequences for the GOP. Now, we don't know yet how widespread it'll be. We need a big election for that. But we could have a preview as early as tonight. So in Kansas, they're having a special election. It's the 4th congressional district, and it pits James Thompson, the Democrat, against Ron Estes, the Republican. Now, this is a district that Trump won by 30 points. And so why are we even talking about this? Come on, that's about as big of a lead as you can have. Well, not too long ago, an internal Republican poll had Estes up by just 1 point. That is an amazing movement in not a long time, but it has been enough to get the Republicans to respond because they don't want to lose this seat so early after Trump's inauguration. People watch these and they think that it could be a bellwether for further elections down the line. A Republican strategist in Kansas says it shouldn't be this close. Estes's closest race should have been to get through the nominating convention, and then you're skating, but right now he's not. And it's not just speculation. The National Republican Congressional Committee spent nearly $100,000 on TV and digital ads where they hit Thompson as a fan of late-term abortion, which his campaign says is just a vicious lie. They're just saying that. But these ads have led to a lot of conservatives donating to Estes's campaign. And in fact, it even goes up as high as the White House, with Donald Trump getting off his ass and doing a little bit of work to record this phone call ad for tonight's special election.
Hello, this is President Donald Trump, and I have something big to tell you. This Tuesday, April 11th, there is a very important special election for Congress in Kansas. On Tuesday, Republican Ron Estes needs your vote and needs it badly. Ron is a conservative leader who's going to work with me to make America great again. We're going to do things really great for our country. Our country needs help. Ron is going to be helping us big league. But I need Republicans like Ron Estes to help me get the job done. This is an important election. There's really few very much more important, and I need your vote for Ron Estes on Tuesday. So, April 11th, Tuesday, please join me in supporting Republican Ron Estes for Congress. He's going to help me do a really, really good job for our country. Thank you very much.
That was great. That was great.
Yep.
That was the worst possible thing you can do if you're noticing that even Republicans are turning on you because of how crazy Trump and his administration is. And then you have him record an ad for you. Awesome. Keep spending money on that kind of stuff.
And you let him say big league.
It's like big league.
It's like he hit all of the things that he gets criticized
We're gonna
for
do great
in
things.
one ad.
You're gonna be so proud.
Tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, but look, he's appealing to committed conservatives. That's why he referenced all of those specific policies and Estes's positions on them. Oh no, wait, he just said he'd do a good job over and over and over again. So look, he's trying to help out big league. Maybe we can help out as well. If you're watching this live, I believe the polls should still be open in that special election. So I never like to tell people to stop watching the show, but perhaps pause the stream, go and vote if you can. Either way, and then come back. But yeah, that's a comical ad. Trump clearly doesn't care.
She's
Imagine
so
how hard
bad at
it
reading
is
that script
to
too.
get him to work. He just doesn't want to work. And so look, that's an incredibly important election. Now, it might not go for the Democrats. I mean, they were down by 30 points. So
it's Kansas.
It's Kansas too, and there's redistricting and all of that is true. There's other elections coming up. Georgia has another election that people are watching really closely, and the national Democratic fundraising apparatuses are putting actually more money into that one than this, which might be have been a bad decision. It looks like this is an opportunity. But this is not just a Kansas thing. It's not just a Georgia thing. This could have national implications because there's been some polls coming out that are showing how deeply unpopular some of these high-profile Republicans are. First of all, though, they looked at the constituents of senators. Who likes their senator, who doesn't like their senator? You want to guess who the most popular senator in the country is amongst their constituents?
Well,
Could it be the pro behind us?
Could it be? Why was he on that the whole time? Weird. Yes, 75% of Sanders' constituents approved of his performance in office compared to 21% who disapproved. which is, by the way, actually worse numbers than he had 6 months ago, but still the best in the entire country. Now you might think, well, look, 75% like him, but people tend to like their senator. Come on, who could you actually dislike? Well, we found someone they dislike. Only 44% of Kentuckians approve of Mitch McConnell's performance, the least liked senator in the entire country, compared to 47% who disapprove. He's the only one out of 100 to receive net disapproval, and yet he's perhaps the most powerful senator in the country. What a weird, twisted political system we have.
Right.
That you don't need to be liked to have huge power in our government.
That's right.
Aren't they don't have term limits, do they? The senators?
For the senators, no.
Yeah, so
they
can
just keep going.
He just stayed. McConnell, I've never liked. He was the one who said that our job is to stop Obama from passing it. Right?
That's right.
I've never liked that guy. And Bernie, I mean, first of all, when you hear McConnell talk, I feel like if they were at a party, like Bernie feels like they're both older white guys.
Right.
What's the difference? Bernie feels like the kind of guy who might have weed or but wouldn't mind if you had weed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And McConnell feels like the kind of guy who's like sitting there, like in a polo with like a little sweater around and just thinking racist thoughts.
He'd be the narc. Like if he saw you smoking a doobie, he'd like go tell the cops.
He would tell the cops.
He's that kind of guy.
He would he'd be hesitant when he sees the brownish color, skin tone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they can even see. He's actually peeking on the corner of that graphic over there. You can't even see him.
You guys can't see him.
And look, it's really unfortunate because he's unpopular, but he does keep getting reelected, and there are no term limits. And unfortunately, some species of sea turtle can live to 200 or 300 years old.
Know,
and so
amazing.
he might be around for a really long time.
That's the reason why it's so incredibly important for people to get involved in midterm elections and actually pay attention to what's happening on a very local level, right? It's not just about who's running for president. Midterm elections are incredibly important, and I'm really curious to see how it all plays out, in the upcoming midterm election.
It's going to be rough. I've looked ahead. It's going to be rough, even if they're unpopular. I mean, there can be big moves, but it's not as favorable a year as this last one.
But it's also interesting that they do that thing that they did to the race in Kansas. They say, they just throw out something where they go, this guy supports late-term abortions.
Yeah.
And that's Trump did that in the debate with Hillary. He's like, she would just pull a baby out at the 9th month, and she's like, no, I wouldn't. But then his supporters are like, yes, he would.
I can see her. She busts into the operating room, just drags it out of there.
But that's what's crazy. You can say anything, and it could be totally aligned. People go vote for you.
But that doesn't mean that people can't learn. They can eventually develop the appropriate hatred and disrespect for politicians. So we're also going to tell you the least popular governor. Any guesses? Least popular governor?
Well, he's
no idea. No idea.
Well, 71% of New Jersey disapproves of Chris Christie, while just 25% approve. Oh,
that is pretty
those numbers are rough. Christie actually edged out Kansas Governor Sam Brownback, who I would have guessed, who had 66% disapproval to 27% approval.
Nobody likes anyone in Kansas.
Not so much, not so much. It's rough times because of Sam Brownback, but Christie, after all the deference he gave to Donald Trump and the sucking up he did, it has not done him any favors.
No, I think that it worked against him. He made a fool out of himself. When he essentially flip-flopped and decided to support Trump, that incredibly embarrassing video of him creepily, nodding behind Trump that we made fun of so much during the election. Yeah. So none of this surprises me. Again, I think that the midterm elections are important. Hopefully people are paying attention and they actually get involved and cast their vote for the person that really looks out for their best interests.
And hopefully they're watching these special elections too, and not just waiting for this.
Yeah, people want, especially like in Jersey, they're tough guys, a lot of tough guys, and then your governor goes, remember the meatloaf situation where Trump ordered for Christie? He's like, you're gonna have the meatloaf. He's like, all right,
no more Oreos.
So
right there, I would have been like, oh, he's got no balls.
Young Turks now has over 6 billion lifetime views. You know who did that? You did that. We're now larger than CNN, ABC, you name a news network online, we're larger than them. And you built all that as everyone scoffed and didn't believe. And here we are, guys, thanks to you. Build independent media together with us at tytnetwork.com/join.